After getting you the ground reports from Israel during the 12-day-long conflict between Iran and Israel, I'm right now in Jerusalem at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Israel, where I'm joined by the spokesperson of Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Oren Marmorstein. A very warm welcome on India Today. So, first question, ceasefire is here. How do you assess the success of Operation Rising Lion?
Thank you, Shivani. It's good to be with you on the show.
Thank you.
In one word, in two words, great success. Huge success. And I'll explain. We started this operation because we didn't have any choice. This was an operation being done in the very last minute before Iran was able to pose two existential threats on Israel. The first is the nuclear threat. Think of the most dangerous regime in the world having the most dangerous weapon in the world, the nuclear weapon. That's number one. That's the first threat. There was another threat. The threat of the ballistic missiles. Iran was about to have the capability of producing 20,000 ballistic missiles. For a tiny country like Israel, this is devastating. So we went to this operation because we didn't have any other choice, and it was the very last minute before those two existential threats will go into the point of no return. And to your question, we managed to remove those. Those two existential threats were removed. And we are now in a safer place. And if I may, it's not only a safer place for Israel, it's a safer place to the world. Because those capabilities, those missiles, can get to Israel, but they can get to other places in the world, putting the world in a very dangerous place. So yes, it was a huge success.
Oren, there have been claims and reports that are coming in about the destruction at the nuclear sites inside Iran. Are you confident, or can you say that this program has been totally devastated or wiped out, and Iran can never now regain that strength to its enrichments in terms of nuclear powers?
So of course, this is very early. We're only days from this operation. But according to the information that we have, and the information that our American friends have and publish, like I said, it was a huge success. And I've just seen a press conference by the United States, again sharing some new information about the damage being done in the Fordo site. Our assessment is that the blow was huge by the American strike and by the Israeli operation. We managed to take the Iranian program to achieve nuclear weapon years back, many years back. But it's not only Israel and the US saying so. The UN Atomic Agency, the IAEA, Director General, Rafael Grossi, said there is the world before Rising Lion and the world after Rising Lion, and Midnight Hammer, the American operation. And these operations managed to take the nuclear weapon, the nuclear program of Iran years back. But we must make sure that the Iranians are not trying again to push forward their nuclear ambitions.
There are a number of messages that are floating in from Iranian regime, from Khamenei, to be very specific, that they have been victorious in this whole war. What do you have to say about that?
This is a regime that is based on two elements. One is terror, and the other is deception. They are terrorizing the world and their own population, and they are lying to the world and to their own population. So I think what you see here is part of this. Mind you, I think he was giving this statement from a bunker, or until now he was in a bunker. And I want to remind all the viewers, in the first minutes of this operation, Rising Lion, the entire chain of command of the Iranian armed forces was taken out. It was like a movie. Missiles coming from the sky and going directly to the specific window and taking out those responsible for the terror regime of the Iranian regime. So huge success, huge blow to the Iranian regime, and a huge blow to the Iranian nuclear ambitions.
Oren, we've also seen a lot of damage happening on the Israeli side. Soldiers have lost their lives, people have lost their lives, there have been losses on the buildings, infrastructure. So how do you see this 12-day war as compared to the previous war that has been going on? Was this more intense? Was Israel prepared for this kind of an action? And do you assess that you may have to, for the future wars, enhance your air defense systems?
I must correct you. Excuse me. Soldiers weren't killed by Iran. Civilians were killed by Iran. We had civilians being murdered by Iranian ballistic missiles. We had children being murdered by ballistic missiles, being shot by the Iranian regime. They shot at a hospital, civilian hospital. Women are going there to give birth, and they fired in this hospital. They shot at a mosque in Haifa. People are, this is a sacred place, a religious place, and they fired at it. The Iranian regime was targeting civilian population centers. I can tell you from my personal experience. I'm a civilian. I live in a civilian neighborhood. And every night, I spend the night in a shelter with my family. Because they were going after civilians. And we, Israel, we were going only after military and military-related targets. That's the difference.
So, the damage assessment of this war, has this already been done on your side?
I can tell you one thing. The Israeli people is strong. Whatever was destroyed by the Iranian ballistic missiles, we will rebuild it. And we will rebuild it stronger and bigger. Because this is what we are. We are resilient, and we are here to stay, and we are here to thrive.
There have been a lot of concern about the Gaza, the humanitarian crisis. A lot of organizations in the world, they have been raising issues. What do you have to say about that war? How do you see that and the crisis that's been going on out there?
Israel is doing huge efforts to facilitate humanitarian aid going into Gaza. In the last few weeks, more than 2,000 aid trucks were facilitated by Israel and entered Gaza from Israel. The Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, an American-led initiative, was able to distribute more than 36 million meals so far. Huge numbers. The problem is that Hamas is doing everything possible to get their hands on this aid, to rebuild its war machine. What is going on at the moment, new avenues have been established in order to make sure that the aid, the humanitarian aid, is getting to the people in Gaza and not to Hamas. And this is what's happening.
India has been by Israel's side. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been speaking to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And India is also a sufferer of terrorism. You might have heard of the Pahalgam attack and the Operation Sindoor that went on. And today there was a very important event in the SCO where the Pahalgam massacre was not put on the table as loudly as it should have been. What do you have to say about that? And India put its stand that it should have been there. Terrorism needs to be talked about at those fronts. Anything you would like to say to India about this?
You said it right. Israel and India are very close. You are our friend, and we are your friend. It's not only the governments that are very close. The people are very much connected. And we stand by India, and we know India stand by Israel.
Thank you so much for speaking to me, Oren, taking this time out. This is an important time for Israel, I know. And I hope that peace prevails. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you so much.